game. I don't care if they were letting him get rebounds. It's still, the man is not overrated. He is rated where he should be. Overrated. Y'all bunch of idiots.
Nah, he's definitely not overrated. But the thing is, too, you know, he's, 6'3" guard, giving double-digit rebounds. He was getting 11 rebounds a game, and they said they said he was in 11 in total rebounds or rebounds average per game, and he was the only guard that was in the top 15.
Of course, he's crazy.
And the fact that he's able to do all this stuff because he's got a scorer in Paul George now. So yes, go ahead and get the rebounds and get the assists because he's got a scorer in Paul George. And then you got to think about this too. They're missing one of their best defenders the whole year in Andre Robertson. So like he's doing more than he's asked, but people want to call the man overrated. I don't know about that, but you know.
Nah, don't call him overrated. It offended me when I heard that.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, really? So, the players voted him overrated? Okay.
Yeah. So Nurkic went down with a season-ending injury, and it was unfortunate because they went to overtime, and so they lost their big man there. So now they got Enes Kanter, who's going back to Oklahoma City, where he went and played for a few years with Russell and KD. So I think as far as that matchup there, Nurkic is more of a physical asset, better defender, obviously, than Kanter. So that's probably going to play a little bit of effect to it. But you still got Lillard and McCollum, and they still got, you know, some punch off the bench that they can bring to against Oklahoma City. Paul George, what do you think about him and then his year? Even though I know he's got a short injury now.
Yeah, he had a great year this year. He played like Paul George, we know, and he just played well. He played well. He's just a good ball player. That's what you say about Paul George. He had an MVP type season this year, but it's easy to play free and play the way he was playing when you got Russ sitting right next to you too.
Yeah.
So those two guys that played off each other, I think better than any guy that has played with Russ. I think he's played off Russ better than KD did and better than Harden did, and he's a good fit with Russ.
Oh yeah. Nah, I definitely agree with that. It seemed like they like to play with each other too. They enjoy each other company. Not saying that KD and Russ did, but near the end there was some kind of
they did.
Yeah, but near the end there was some kind of friction. But yeah, they enjoyed it, and so this is gonna be a fun matchup, man. Who you got in this series?
Oklahoma.
How many games?
I got OKC. Yeah, because I think the way they've been playing all season and stuff, they're building up and they're ready for the playoffs.
How many games you got it?
6.
6.
If all else fails, just go to 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You'll hear me say 6 a lot.
So this is the upset I'm choosing here. Is I got OKC beating them too, and I really think if they had Nurkic, it would be a different series. But I think that you'll see that play a part in him going down, and long as playoff P doesn't show up, like if he shows up and doesn't go ghost like he did in Indiana. But,
exactly.
But I think
Russ, I don't think Russ will let him go ghost.
No, exactly. Yeah, I think he'll be good and yeah. Sorry, Trailblazers, y'all be out in the first round again. Just my opinion. So.
No.
All right, Nets won. We got number 4 seed Houston, 53 wins, 29 losses, and Utah's at 50 and 32. Wow, man, that's 3 games separate these guys. That's a pretty good matchup. All right, so,
talk about another underrated team in Utah.
They actually started off slow too, right?
Yeah, and they don't have that flash guy. You know, I've been saying it for a lot of teams that have been in the playoffs. They don't have that flash guy. Mm-hmm. They play team ball, and they don't have that dude that just pops off the screen. Whereas Houston has that idiot, the traveling machine, will be able to put the whole team on his back and take them to Utah if he wants to.
So, I'm about to say, you kind of touched their personnel because this is the second best offensive team in the league in the Houston Rockets versus the second best defensive team in the league against the Utah Jazz. Talk about the Utah Jazz defensive makeup. What do you think about their defensive players and stuff like that?
They play defense well because they play team ball. And usually when you have a team that doesn't have that flash guy, what's the big thing that pops off that they always play well? It's always defense.
Yeah.
Defense is always that thing when there's a team that is full of good players, but not that superstar guy. The always thing we go back to is look how good they play defense because they make up for not having that flash guy on offense. Yeah. And that's where their thing is. They're a very good defensive team, and they have a bunch of very good defenders.
You got Rudy Gobert, you got Derek Favors, and then Jay Crowder, who Kevin mentioned earlier that Patrick Beverley was talking to. Kevin, personally, how do you defend this guy, James Harden? Like, how? I know it's a hard task to do in the first place, but what's your take in trying to guard this guy right here? This offensive machine?
Remember what I told you before. If you want to defend James Harden, you get in his space. You get in his face. As soon as he takes that step back, guess what you do? You take a step forward. If he takes 4 steps back, you take 4 steps forward. You do not let him have no space. We know he's traveling when he does the space thing. We know he does that step back. But you have to don't give him an inch. Don't let him go to his right, left. Don't let him do anything. Just stay in his mug. If they call you for a foul, so be it. Make him uncomfortable. Because as soon as you make him uncomfortable, it throws everything off. He gets uncomfortable, then he starts yapping with the refs, and then he just is completely thrown off his game. You just have to be a space eater when it comes to him.
Gotcha.
It's what you do to athletic people that don't like being bumped. Like, you can't do that to Russ, because Russ don't care if you bump him. You can't do that to certain other guys in the league because they don't care if you bump him. Mm-hmm. He cares if you bump him, because as soon as you bump him, you take him off of his game. But that is the thing you have to do. You have to eat up the space between you and Harden. Because if you give him too much space, it's already over. Oh,
yeah. You give him too much space, and then if he's able to get some foul calls and stuff like that with his reenactments of, like, he just got shot.
Yeah, that man needs to go and sign up to be a Gettysburg reenactor. So how many times somebody bumped him in the beard, and he acted like he got clothesline.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely an act. And don't get me wrong, James Harden, he's probably one of the most talented offensive players in the league right now. But it's just his game set. And I admit, it's just, I think the isolating stuff, just watching that. I mean, I don't know how you're a Rockets fan and you can sit there and watch him dribble for like 60
His game is boring, annoying, and shitty. He can score, yes, but to watch him play is boring and it's terrible to watch him play. The fundamentals are just thrown way, way, way away when you watch him play. ISO ball is some of the crappiest basketball you can ever watch. And with him, it's even crappier because all he does is dribble through his legs 400 times, goes to do a crossover, pushes the guy off, makes the guy fall down, then takes 18 steps backwards behind the three-point line and shoots it and act like he done something. Well, you did do something. You pushed the guy off for one, and 2, you travel.
It's just the further you get into the playoffs, it's hard to play that way.
Yes, it is hard to play ISO ball when you're playing teams that are good teams defensively.
You make it easy for us to stay at home too. So I mean, it's rough.
Look, man. even when the Warriors won with their great offense, guess what? They were really good on defense too.
Yeah.
The Warriors have a good defensive team, even though they're really good on offense. The Houston Rockets are not good on defense. They're just good on offense.
Yeah.
And I hate watching that team.
No, it's definitely an eyesore. So I was going to ask you one more Rockets question. Who needs to show up bigger in this series, Chris Paul or Clint Capella?
Chris Paul. Chris Paul needs to show up. That's the reason they pay him.
Yeah.
That's the reason he's their point guard. Show up. We ain't paying you all that money to not show up. Get your buddy in there and show up.
Especially their point guard matchup is in his favor.
Exactly.
You know, show up. A lot of injuries with their point guard, so they gonna have to. He's gonna have to take advantage of that and stuff like that. So Could the Rockets be in danger overlooking the Jazz because I know they have that next series they play the Warriors?
Yes, they are in danger. They are in danger of overlooking the Jazz.
They shouldn't overlook this team.
Nope.
But I know there's been a lot of talks already in the media, like, well, the Rockets going to prepare for the Jazz. Like, wait a minute, they haven't got to pass the Jazz yet. Are we already talking like the Rockets going to beat the Jazz?
Yep.
Jazz is a
Go
really
ahead and
good
look
defensive team.
past them. Go ahead and look past them. You've already seen how close all these teams are in the West.
Yeah.
Why is any team in the West going to look any other team in the West? That's stupid and foolish on your part.
Yeah. I won't overlook this Jazz team. They're very good. They're very well coached by Quinn Snyder. They're really difficult at home. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Jay Crowder can get in his airspace, James Harden airspace. So
get in his space.
So it's going to be a really
because you know the game is called different in the playoffs as well too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Just get in his space.
Who you got for our prediction?
Oh God! As much as I want to say the Jazz, I think that the Rockets will pull it out. But God, do I want the other team to win?
Yeah, I got the Rockets in 6. They will end up playing them, but like I said, it's going to be some tough series here. They're going to guard.
But let them overlook them though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I think Jazz can get one on the road. First game.
Oh yeah, I do too.
Yeah, they can get one on the road and kind of put some pressure on them a little bit. So
defense travels.
Yeah.
In any sports, defense travels.
It does. Yes, it does.
Yeah, you like the pun. Yeah.
I did, yes. I kind of laughed a little bit. I was like, okay, I got you. All right, let's go to the East. The East, you got number 1 Milwaukee. Got the best record in the league at 60 wins and 22 losses. Detroit Pistons limped into the playoffs, like that pun, 41-41. I don't know, man. I was hoping Detroit didn't make it, man, because they got a lot of injuries. But we'll talk about that. Look, this series got like a lot of injuries. Pistons, Blake Griffin got a left bum knee. Blame parent on that.
No, I am shocked. Blake Griffin is hurt.
And then the Bucks, they got Malcolm Brogdon, Tony Shell, and Nikola Mirotic is out. What's up with this, man? They got a lot. Someone call a doctor, man. What's up with all these injuries, man? What do you think about the Pistons kind of limping into the playoffs?
They didn't do enough load management throughout the year, apparently. Yeah, the Pistons are just you just tell the Pistons, hey, stay at home. Just don't come. Send 7 guys up here so we can play them. But just don't come because Milwaukee's going to beat the crap out of them.
I mean, yeah, who can guard Giannis? It could be Blake, but he's not.
No one. No one can guard him. No one in the league can guard him.
Dude's got 27 points per game, 12 rebounds, and he's doing this on 58% field goal shooting.
And 74-foot arms. Just the man. He was the MVP this year.
I think he's my MVP too.
He was on the best team, and he's the best player on the best team. He's the MVP.
I know why.
Because if you take him off that team, they're not that good.
No.
And that's what MVP is.
Yeah, and that's why I say
if you take that dude off of that team, are they going to be that good? The answer with that team is no. He's the MVP. Easy. You shouldn't take no more. Friggin' figure that out.
So we agree this is a sweep, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's move on to the next series. You got the Toronto and Orlando. Toronto is 58-24. Orlando is 42-40. The series is actually tied, but then don't get it confused. There was a few games that Toronto didn't have their starters, and Orlando kind of blew them out when they didn't have some of their starters. Kawhi missed one game, and I know Kyle missed another game, but you kind of saw like the kind of tell the story when they played on April 1st, where Toronto won 121-109. So that's kind of like the more accurate picture what you can see the Toronto team would be. Just Danny Green went off that series there. As far as
Toronto's good.
Toronto is really deep. They don't have any injury issues right now. And they got a lot of
Toronto's good. And here's the main thing for Toronto that plays in their favor. LeBron James is no longer in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, they can.
Toronto will make the Eastern Conference Finals this year and not get away because now Giannis is in the East. So I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the experience here, you got Magic starters that got 33 playoff combined. The Raptors starters have 400